Washington Irving's 1819 book, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, made a burial mound extremely famous. Every fall, tens of thousands of people from all over the world visit Sleepy Hollow in Westchester County, New York, to see this mound. In The Headless Horseman, a story by Washington Irving, it's said that a German soldier went to his grave during the American Revolutionary War, missing his head. And the well-known graveyard also contained the remains of Hulda of Bohemia, a woman who lived in Sleepy Hollow's woods in the 1770s. Hulda was a Bohemian woman who moved to a place full of conservative people who all knew each other's grandparents. She didn't have any references or family there. Being a stranger at that time made you open to suspicion, and being alone was not a good thing either. Hulda picked simples, which are herbs, in the mill woods. She knew where the boneset, vervain, mandrake, and calamus grew. Her cabin smelled like sweet, dried plants. There were remedies for colds, fevers, and the simple aches and pains of many people. She also wove baskets, and she was smarter than a woman should be. Rumor has it that the witch was just as busy in Sleepy Hollow in 1770 as she was in 1897. It's said that she traded with the Indians who came into the area from far upstate and shared many secrets of her black magic with them. One day, a group of British soldiers got off one of the ships that had come up the Hudson, and they started to march. And that march was going to lead them to victory. The King's Highway led them to the back of Putnam's position in Peekskill. As they marched in an intimidating line, they were met with a volley of fire from behind walls and tree trunks, shots from all over. Hulda was side by side with her neighbors at that time, fighting for their lives. They didn't give up. Hulda, who everyone thought was a witch, was fighting with the neighbors. She used her rifle better than anyone else on the field that day. And because of this, she was particularly singled out for revenge. And before the redcoats could get back to their boats, they caught her and they killed her. People who had seen her fight said that whether or not she was a witch, she had earned the right to be buried as a Christian. They took her to her cabin, and that's where they found a note between the pages of her Bible. It said that she had a small amount of gold that she wanted to give to widows whose husbands had died for their country. Because of her bravery, the minister of Sleepy Hollow approved her burial in the Christian church. People thought she wasn't Christian, so she was buried without a headstone. The Witch of Sleepy Hollow, Legends and Lore of Sleepy Hollow in the Hudson Valley. This was written out in a 2011 book by Jonathan Crook. He brought attention to Hulda's tale. It said that Hulda's grave is close to the north wall of the old church, as if her neighbors, who treated her badly while she was alive, wanted to make up for it by showing her a lot of respect after she had passed away. For many years, an orange flagstick marked the spot where she was buried. Visitors to the cemetery often took it as a souvenir. In 2019, there was an official memorial service held for Hulda, and a monument was put up at a prominent place in the cemetery. People stop by and give money, rocks, and bundles of herbs to Hulda's gravestone, which is now an extremely popular place to visit all year long. She was believed to be the High German witch doctor that Irving wrote about in the Headless Horseman story, who enchanted Sleepy Hollow and left the town with a drowsy, dreamy effect to hang over it. Edgar Mayhew Bacon's book, Chronicles of Tarrytown and Sleepy Hollow, published in 1897, talks about Hulda as the woman whose skills at making baskets and healing made people think that she was the witch, but whose skills as a sharpshooter made her a Revolutionary War hero. Some people would come looking for the witch, especially around Halloween. That's according to Deb McHugh, the chief docent of the Old Dutch Church. But she does go on to say that all those of us who knew her history felt it was vital to give her appropriate respect as a patriot. These are Interesting Things with JC.